And it was through Brute Monster having a insane series. Obviously, you know, if it's coming through the rifle lane, Nemanja was right beside him, but he really stood out in that series for me, and I wonder if that's going to be a factor against Nikodas here in this first map. At a pistol all the way out, and Kyofo, of course he's ready for it. Spook is going to be put into the dirt, and they just have to clear out the nitty-gritty of this site. They don't know exactly where this is coming from. A second out of Kyofo.
That's incredible. To get
third,
2,
actually.
then a 3, and also survive. Joffo done a great job of that, and now can be part of the retake as well. Nemanja handles business, and Nikodas is all alone. So you kind of teed him up. How does he stand out as the pistol round is where he's first got to take his step?
Remains patient. Smoke drop. Kyofo on the defuse now, 5 seconds in. Simki gonna get the contact, but there's just no time. Zero Tenacity, reach onto OG's map pick, bustle out this pistol, get a little bit of respect back. 2 players survive in the bomb plant for OG. So no huge hell of a harp off of that pistol, but I think they'll be pulling a string here into a force. It's a nice liberty, right? The comfort to be able to actually line that up the way they do. Your Tenacity, pleased with the line that they find, the respect that they get back. There's not much too obvious upon this. Had to get that boost for a reason. Have to get this kill onto Crizin, and there's no way that he's going to be locking Simki up just like that. Sniffing out that boost is going to be an insane play, but you have to keep track of it because you need to nail this late round. This play possible, not without Crizin's efforts. And right now, it's got to come through CT and Brute Monster, just how we are forcing up. But Kyofo would need to take another big fight. Can't deliver.
And now, Brute Monster alone, surely going to be the end of the road here. Nikodas putting the finishing touches on the 2-piece. And that's not to speak of like Zero Tenacity's potential peaks, because that's definitely there. But right now, OG, I think that's what I want to see them at. That's what their level needs to be.
Their level has to be. Oh, and Nikodas just levels them up. That's the AK in the hands, and he barrels down and continues to roll. Tempoed into a triple entry against the force back with Zero Tenacity. Nikodas, known to be Swiss Army knife upon this rifle. Capable. Flash to go behind Simki. Not sure it's going to be the ace for Nikodas, but look, a new chance at the peak. Here comes a nade to soften him up, but Buzz may ruin the fun with on the 5, but either way, will be OG who get out pretty clean from that. I don't think anybody's complaining. To put that performance up, but this is against OG, right? Never an easy queue. Yesterday, they were just playing in a closed qualifier. Today, they got to turn up into playoffs. Maybe turning up the pace into the B site OGTs. Here goes the utility that boxes off Simki. AVN still hanging around. May find the young former Mao's NXT IGL escaping. There's a bit of a hint to this. Either way on the slow crawl, they will still splint in. Simki, Brute Monster from multiple angles will just strangle every bit of oxygen out of OG's. Hulls pop. There's a little bit of something back there still, though.
Yeah, once Crizin gets spotted and the first contact is made, it's so very obvious what's happening here, and Zero Tenacity can just rotate everybody into location, and that's what they run into. That little hesitation gives the information, and so Zero Tenacity able to have 3 guys there. Simki was so prepared for that fight. It kept like poking and prodding, leaving OG vulnerable the whole time. That is incredible from Zero Tenacity.
Nemanja opening kill. And there it is. That's what you were looking for. And this hasn't even presented into the scope yet. You have not heard the op sound off, though. Maybe a bit of an awkward angle. So it is taken advantage of. OG, Spook, and Fiku activated at the same time. And that is how they lessen the blow towards OG. Perfectly in play for this. Crizin gonna be disappointed. But the news may not even come to him first. all three players to stand up with 20 seconds, and unfortunately, Kyofo, upon the mouse jump, Simki, right place, right time. The positioning has to be perfect, and the shot's even better. The round off of the wall bang tries to come through up top. Spook hits a great shot,
bomb.
but now this bomb gonna go down. Where is it? 5 seconds, and it doesn't look like it's gonna work. He's escaped in the nick of time, and Zero Tenacity, they take the lead on Mirage.
Dude, they've done it twice in a row, Marky. For a two-piece that does just enough to delay the bomb plant.
Brute Monster up and certainly above. Oh my gosh. That was certainly challenging the norm right there. And he pays the price for it.
Nemanja with a great trade, though, going to make life difficult. And now a re-clear. It's both directions as Palace look. AVN, a little bit of an oversight. Buzz gets the freebie.
Yeah, I can kind of tally that into 2 total oversights of middle. I don't want to really hammer down while it's still hot, but that's certainly a point. I don't really think this is too much of an oversell. You go a little bit further in middle. Kyofo, he has the same sort of motto. Goes into A-ramp, has got this done. Fiku has to fire 2 deagle shots to get this down. Second hits the dime. Crizin, bomb down, man advantage. Simki and Nemanja are going to be working on this, but it's going to be a project that takes a while. Look at Nemanja's feet and look at how they're moving on the flank.
Yeah, he's zooming. That's for sure. Gotta slow it down, though. Now knows that there's a chance to be heard. It's Fiku, who might be the first to get caught. Crizin, had the advantage, but great work from Simka. He gets his one. Great trade from Fiku. Nemanja just waiting this out, hoping that he can find them both, but he won't see either.
Has to be in Palace. There's no checking on this one unless it's the instant commitment in here by Buzz. Cuts his head off in the end. A little bit of a pat on the back and a reminder that Buzz is always going to be there for the dagger. Huge work by the young Dane. Dimkey, I love this transition on top of the bench. You know, stay out of the halls on Inferno. You have to give the distance to these pistols where you would expect them, right? They hold the long range. They wait for the respect back to see what is actually within this B site. As the time gets along, though, they don't have a MAC 10 player to send in to get a little bit of information. They're chasing the op now, and they are gunning for Nikodas, and they have got maybe a little bit more upon that. Simki hiding in the cut for so long and needs to try and pop out. You can see his foot. Spooky gets it done at the end of the day, but now there's an op ripping through the back lines, and it's going to be up to the young Dane for another clutch. He holds at this market door position. You get the jiggle in from Kyofo all the way around, trying to just latch the laces upon this box, but Nemanja, the quick scope, checks you right back to reality, and in round 10, we go 5-5, splitting the hair once again.
This one seems like it's going to be a little different. Nobody on the B extremity itself, so up connector, likely story. Simki, no vision yet. Oh, in the flashbang, but it's not enough.
Convert easily. Prison has to back up, and it's AVN for a second. Maybe Buzz again. Big so much of one single member. Immediately taken up. He gives you a cut in the same fashion. Tech 9 to just run you down. And the AK separated. That may cause a problem. That causes a little bit of an issue. And that issue is going to result in an entire vine that grows to 6. It is Zero Tenacity that have find themselves out of the 6 of this first map. Where's the Halls pop going to approach? Nikodas with the double flash. On what type of timing. They get close enough. Here goes that smoke. You should know what's up. AVN gonna be right underneath, and they know where he has gotten off to, and Buzz, he is just gonna be putting them all under the saw. It is a huge entry out here for the young Dane as Fico gets this bomb down.
Great work. And even better work now as they take full CT control. That should be the end of the line. I say that, but Fiku gives over an early advantage back to Zero Tenacity. Oh no, and Nikodas is tagged low.
Buzz, you gotta bring this one home. now forced to fight with the scope, is ready for the first approach. Buzz on for the ace. He has just knocked Simki off the bomb. That nade did the damage, but he's waiting for the vertical approach. Simki goes and stabs for the heart and now jumps on the bomb. He has practically ripped it out of the chest of Buzz here, and all the OG fans watching at home. That had the likes of a 6-6 half and a silencing round, but there it goes. Need another pistol round out of this Zero Tenacity squad. What is the call? Serve it up from Nemanya's end. Yofo with the long-range hardware. So that honestly means pretty well. AVN initial contact. Oh my gosh. Wiped with one swipe. And now out to the A site. This is where you're going to have to do your negotiating straight up. Now at the table, even the Swede getting forced out of it. Not sure if that was a magic bullet or not, but now they get this bomb down. Zero Tenacity has all of the space.
Not quite all of it. Still CT in OG's hands. That's critical. Simka needs to stay alive, and Spook's really playing the long game right now. Got dinked down. Crizin can't find the rotation. And now things get complicated.
Oh, so complicated. Holding from the stairs. Nemanja, so many targets to choose from, and Brute Monster is going to be put down. Nikodaz hops on the bomb. Plenty of time. 3 alive for OG.
And the Brute Monster op that we didn't really get to see very much of in the first half. First of its kind here on the T side, and it's armorless.
Is walking it forward. Here comes a nade, flash combo. They are going to be shredded by this. Buzz has just flipped the switch as this half has come to rest. And now Nemanja, he wants to try and just get it back. But Buzz picked up the op and continues to roll. Had to do so within that clutch. This time, I don't think he's letting go. OG will not either. 3v1. He's talking about Buzz not letting go and OG in that sentence. In one foul swoop, I may have just cursed the entire line. A fake jump in for OG. They are being toyed with, but not played. Crizin has that at the end of the day, but at what cost?
But I think, yeah, you might be right on that one.
I'm glad I'm not seeing things.
Got the armor and the full kit with him this time.
Talking about that series, Sashi yesterday, you're posted up and you're put back down. Nikodaz, we previewed this 1v1. Can't even call it a rivalry. Nikodaz has just been dominating in that affair. Just had a highest rating out of the series I was referring to yesterday. A flip-flop performance for Brute Monster, unfortunately. But I really wouldn't be worried about it. It goes down like this. It's always depended on this gritty rifle work on the CT side. Make it happen either way.
They're hyper aware of the gaps that creates, of the options that leaves open.
Up sounds off from the site. Nikodaz, it's a miss that. Hopefully it won't track up and cost you. Keep it upon the line and keep cooking those books. Try to keep track of that deagle that takes the next crack. Nikodaz finally strikes and hits. Nemanja, though, do not give him a chance at his wit. 3 seconds left. He's got to duck down and find either of these players. But even in their most gracious efforts, even in a Hail Mary attempt, OG, they can see through that. Their playbook on Mirage just as deep. Maybe even a couple more layers back. Nikodaz, a lot more within the conversation now. He's propped up at con.
Yeah, I think drop that smoke such that he can take a peek over the top. There was a molly for the bottom of connector. He's about to be tested. Oh, doesn't have the gun out. Really wanted something ambitious there. Looked like a no-scope attempt to me. But he gets punished.
And now OG forced to make a decision. This gunfight should probably give them their next option. Contact being made up and through Palace, and so there's your ace back in the deck. But Fiku gets another one of these kills, and that's against Brute Monster. They shouldn't ignore this opportunity. Even if it becomes more believable by the moment, why not just strip a couple more stripes away from the Zero Tenacity lane? Fiku, take a look at the map. Saw middle of the place ripe to drop right now. honestly picked the right location as they are about to turn the corner and steal a whole lot, but they're stuffed with the pressure that now the crawl can go. Zero Tenacity trying to get OG off guard with this hit. Oh, but Nikodas.
Where'd the
Seems
bullet
like
go?
that. Really, I don't know. Shot it just blank. Mixed up the ammunition. OG, either way, close misses, completely knocked off the base. We're going to be getting to their 9th and going after more.
Oh, Jaffa
Spotting on a
spotted.
Crizin.
I love the details that Zero Tenacity adjusts to that mid take. It's a flash out wide, combination with the Molotov to force off the Nikodas fight first and foremost, and good utility as well into connector that makes it very difficult for Fiku to swing in that location. Like, those little details for Zero Tenacity are adjustments that they made from the beginning of this half to now, and they're not letting up. There's no reprieve here for OG. 3 attempted saves, and only one's gonna get away.
Your Tenacity again. Sending Nemanja to check up what's good. Now the rest of the case, they are right at the speed at which Nikodas would like to check them. Relayed it for a minute. Told him to stop up. Park right there. Nikodas needs some registration. The license has already been seen right now. A 4 versus 3. OG hold on without actually having a foot in the bomb site. Now they're about to kick that door down. Oh, and they're invited right in with Nemanja. What the hell is that kill back? It surely can't be 2 in a row, and it won't be. But not from his end, Vincent. They continue to bleed out in this. They know exactly where they are, just on the other cusp of the wall. You do get that swag back all the way from Crizin, who is never afraid. Just so good to loop that through there. OG needed a hero. Crizin doesn't open it up, even in a negative sense. Spook gets 1. That's Nemanja. Big head scene. Kyofo. If it could be that much cleaner from jungle, then that's exactly the sound they want to hear. It is music to the ears. In a 4v1, Brute Monster boxed away. Fight in connector into the face of Crizin is not the skull you want to see. OG, they find 12 first on their map pick.
Oh, could have changed the entire conversation around him in a moment right there if he connects that shot, but it misses.
Just right next to him, Nikodas even pulls out the bar to try and get the dagger down, though it seems to be gunning that way no matter how you turn this table. Though, here's a big find. Spooke put up 1 more big hold over on this A site. Zero Tenacity halt. They wait for a play just like that, showing their hand a little bit OG too early. But Zero Tenacity, they lose some of that space. OG are taking it back without knowing it. And now with that swing, a big kill, and you have to go ahead and really just run this down. The longest standing member of OG wants to put Zero Tenacity in the ground, and he does with a 3K. Beautiful work out of Fiku. That was actually split between him and Crizin to meet 13. Looks like Zero Tenacity are about to get their hands hurt.
Can't believe you would tell the
I'm about
people
to throw
lies
your
like
camera
that.
under the bus instead.
You should have. It was my fault. Tragically, we didn't get to talk to Exner on the pre-show, but we are going to talk to him after the fact. Nemanja, big catch here on the Nikodas. That's going to make life a little bit easier now. OG might have the bomb site, but Zero Tenacity have the man advantage and the kit.
It's a very important clue. Crizin, you could just stand right at the rim and try and beat down before they get out of the box. E-box now. The next target, the next point of conversation. 2 players that just muscled out into a big fight are obviously hot on the trot here. Can Avian go for a second? Fiku with another huge kill. Fiku running it down, and he connects the shots. Huge win for OG. Had to stand on it and with the line, beating red. Working that middle control just with the utility. OG with their heads together elsewhere. Spook gonna be walking right out of this, but there was a barrel spotted and he couldn't get one on. Swinging back and forth, the pendulum now rocking to the side of the site and really taking a very big brow. Brute Monster shooting brutal force again, whipping back from a bit of a lackluster performance in our first map.
Swings wide, finish that guy, and there's another one in Temple. Like, I don't know. OG thinking the zip that they are just moving one by one. No, it's an entire unit right behind them.
Immediately challenging into the bullhorns of Nemania's MP9. Clean shots delivered. Called a bonus, call it whatever it was, wiped off the board. It's painful for OG. Tending to those wounds early. Faced into round 4, a whole lot to deal with. It's not treated them kindly.
Not in the slightest. And Jaffa with this reaggression, he's got backup here as well in the form of AVN. Never mind. Buzz has got him down and dead. That's brutal.
Brute Monster depended on to put up another big defense again. Too much. Signed himself up for this time. And Simki that will try and dot on the pen. No real leash given, exactly wagged in the face of Simki. He even just remains anonymous, lurking out of game ender Vincent. Steaming ahead as well. As advertised, there's going to be a whole lot to try and keep away from OG from taking full advantage of this first half. No opening fight, won again by Nemanja, right? And, I mean, we can always go back to remind ourselves of something that they were able to stand on. It was Nemanja that opened up a 5v3 in the previous. As I'm yapping along, Simki gets this kill as the smoke is jarred open. They're going to need more than that, however.
Yeah, right now, there's one man defending A, and that's Brute Monster, who's been hit with a full exec. Molly's in his face. Smoke's behind him. And it's clear enough, even as the cavalry arrives. I say that. Simki.
Whoa.
It's like all over the place, these sprays. And that buys time for Simki to arrive. I mean, just a little bit of a whiff. And OG are put to bed. 3 AKs. Pistols for Kristen and Buzz, who get the limited utility for this B attack.
Now they have a full signal right back to them. And look at this. It's 3 rifles trying to face off into B, and yet it feels helpless. Brute Monster out here, and with the nice start that he had on the rifle, I wonder if he's going to be so warmed up to take these op peaks as this game goes along. Awkward here through E-Box takes a total Q, but looking like he has a very nice shot onto Spook in the end.
So they were always going to be fighting an uphill battle when the smoke goes down in main over at B. Here's some free reign for Zero Tenacity. Oh, nice shot from Nikodas. That'll certainly get you started on the right foot.
Uh-oh. Not like this. Still taste that Glock round right from our Fnatic series before this. Up in a 5v3. Bomb plant is going to make this a nightmare. It's going to be burning Buzz right out of it. This scope has got to be just perched up and finds its prey. AVN locked out. Again, say it with me, Vincent. The Glock strike twice.
Dude, I mean, Glock rounds are crazy in and of themselves, right? But to see 2 in the same broadcast is absurd. And this one's a little bit more understandable than the previous in the Fnatic game because, you know, it's the Deagle to open it. Great work from Nikodas. That opens the door in E-Box, and then the Glocks start to run down. And so it's really only one guy missing the mark in E-Box that is the real crutch. Yeah, only gets a nade. Less than ideal.
Perfect fight back. Kyofo with 1. Close smoke, and even on the fire himself is going to have to really get his balance recollected, does find his 2 feet and finds 2 kills, but right here, it's the same challenge for Crizin. Bomb going down, here comes a nade that's gotta be landing soon to one member. Fiku bites the dust fully. And Crizin looks like he just gotten over on this timing, Vincent. He needs to pull this all through. It's challenging. The entire retake comes here through Game Ender, and Crizin is just going to be putting up the pressure right to blue, and this play not broken yet. Simkey diving on the bomb. There has been an 1,000-yard stare, perching up to heaven between Brute Monster and Nikodas for so long. But I think he can get comfortable. I think he can finally blink. He can just play with Brute Monster on the other side. You can take his body, you can take his life, but you cannot take the round. 6 find the way of OG.
Yeah, oh, what a great call this is, too, from OG. Testing the waters towards A, and they end up sliding back into B. Avian overlooked for a moment, but is finally re-cleared. He'll only get the 1. And now they should be just fine. Hang on to this. Simkey should probably get out with this up. But hold on. They don't appear to be doing that.
They have another op now. Maybe that was the real mission. But can these scopes be so swift? Double knockers up to the stage, and Nemanja will at least flip that on his own end. 2 of these scopes. But they are to the more desired end. Fiku will put those bodies one on top of the next. A 4K for the longest standing member of OG. Now, of course, you are going to need a tactical pause after that. What one hell of a call to go for a retake in that instance. But, I mean, I guess 2 ops was just too tempting.
I don't know about too tempting. A little wild to continue to go into here, but I mean, they get a ton more damage done.
60 seconds to remain patient, but OG seem very sure about this B's play. Here in Incendiary back, they immediately get eyes on 2 targets. Is this the type of resistance that scares them away but pulls them into the site, Vincent? An opening kill like that is going to give them no choice but to continue on, but there's 2 players right on the stage, and Nemanja back up at the right time, but look at this. Crizin and Fiku take it into their own hands, and now it's Kyofo 1v3.
Oh, he's gotten the first. Wait a second. He's made this very doable. Crisin's got his Glock out. He's got no ammunition, I'm guessing, and Kyofo has high health. He's got everything here. Crisin's just looking to take this fight. This was never going to work for Crizin with a Glock. That's a 1v3. It was so brief. They rubbed against each other and then sort of went their own direction. Yeah, no side is aware that this has happened.
Whose flank pays off first, Vincent? That's the question to be asked, and it's Simkey's that reigns off first. Now there is a big flank coming down, but there it is! That gold will go to Crizin, but can he hold on to it? A 2v4, 0 tenacity, have to go for this. A flash to just set them up, potentially for disaster. Simkey goes back and forth. BQ will take it when he's comfortable. How many more do they have in the belt? It's got 30 bullets for you. These last 2 members. Look, they brought it back on the board. 0 tenacity. They had something late. They got the rest of the debate team behind them. Ready to go on to B here, rather on to A. But guess who's waiting? It's Fiku that has done so much damage, rather Buzz. They're running it up. Nikodas elsewhere. Hammers down on Nemanja.
So much space to work with, too. You would think they just flood. No time to set up. No time to even get the bomb down. That's all done in an instant for OG. They really had one moment to pull the trigger on that, and they take it by storm. Ensuring that they only lose a couple.
Straight through the fire. Taking it quickly to middle this time. AVN found by Crizin, and Nemanja is gone as well. One foul swoop. The young gun gets it done. The point of emphasis here from his leading call be, let's play back. About to serve up 11 rounds on a 2-man advantage. OG. They're about to be tested. They got to be ready for anything. Sit back because somebody might slip up.
Yeah, it's not going to be Spook. Is the shot. Smoke makes it easy. Drop a gray screen coming right through. Simke gonna maybe try his own hand at as that smoke fades. Brute Monster from the other side. But Spook has the same exact answer. It's a 3-peat there for Crisant, who takes the triple kill. That round, I mean, it all starts right with Nikodas, who's tossed a few extra flashbangs and says, you know, bomb flash is over for me. Yeah, that should be a resounding victory. Nemanja, starts the round at 50 health. He catches an HE. That's got to be what it was. That's running through the molly, excuse me, in mid. He's all the way into camera right now.
Finally caught up to Nemanja, ahead of the rest of the pack. But you're checking back into AVN. Easy kill onto Crisant. Had to be spotting onto the special package on the back there. Knowing that AVN is still close within the cut, and the bomb just right beside. They try to serve him up for a little bit more. He does find the Swede. There might have been a spot onto that second player during this bleed, trying to cover up onto the gruesome wound. Distraction has made the A site vulnerable, but Nikodas, he cuts off any worry of that, Vincent.
They kind of had a leg into both scenarios. A site, B site. Simkid deep. The side Fiku turns. Oh, it's the worst timing. And the Molly not going to play a significant factor as Nikodas will arrive as that starts to fade. Brute Monster's coverage of Buzz ends the questions in this round, or at least should. Nikodas starts this clutch at 50 health. And I don't think he's going to get too deep into it.
Yeah, have this bomb ticked at that same margin would have to speed things up. Nikodas tips his hat to the A site. Where he came from. May have to return. Bomb far too ticked. But Nikodas posts a very nice headshot. Not entirely meaningless. Zero tenacity.
We saw Nemanja go down at the very beginning of the round. OG had the advantage from the start.
Nemanja, another opening kill. Attempted. This time he does go ahead and deliver. No, that's actually a huge hiccup here. It brings them to a very vulnerable spot. And to now to take that next step against AVN. He doesn't convert the kill. Buzz with a huge find right now, but is going to have to gallop back to the site. Hold a nice line. Maybe even find a goodie along the way. Nikodas rounds in from the street. Eyes on to find that other flank, Vincent, but it's Buzz down below.
About to say, crucial smoke here. That's going to separate Brute Monster and AVN. Allows Buzz a little bit of freedom to start to clear back in.
Does get AVN. Molotov to go in close, forcing back Nikodas. This time I have a feeling he's going to be wanting to hold on to his rifle.
Nice brook water.
Great views, I hear. So we can see. Brute Monster was posting up, implying for an aggressive play. If it's not going to be through him, but they're going to test it anyway. But that may be the opening mistake that cost them. Attempt into the A site again. Here's an incendiary that they are going to be just conditioned to push past. Buzz, he's even gone through his smoke. This has another layer brought back to it, and Simke right to get this trade, but it all catches up to them. 2 versus 3 right now. Double flank could be knocking down the door. But look at this. They have caught both of these members trying to make this their problem. Nikodas picks up an AK and he adjusts. Simke, the man that got the original trade, it's still up in the sight to defend Zero Tenacity from getting knocked out of the Thunderpick European Series 1 here at the World Championships. Bomb gonna go down now. Simke will begin to doctor one more good reason as to why they are to be continuing to stride forward. But Buzz has got an idea for you. Put this up, stamp it in the 2-0. OG will be facing after Astrum.
That they will. And a well-deserved victory.